Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video by AwesomeVacuums. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a review on the Hoover Elite Rewind, or Hoover Rewind in this case, whatever you want to call this machine. I got this machine actually quite a few years ago from Walmart for $88, and I used it a lot actually when I first got it, but since I've started collecting, I haven't really used it as much, and I will say I am actually pretty impressed with this little machine. It is pretty impressive for an $88 Walmart bought vacuum. So what I'll do is I'll get the camera off the tripod and I'll do a quick overview, and then I'll do the pickup test at the end. So let's get started. Alright, so here's the Hoover Elite Rewind, or Rewind, whatever you want to call it. So starting at the bottom, here as you can see we have a 4-position carpet height adjustment. So you have bare floor, low pile, medium pile, and high pile carpet. And much like the bagged machine that I reviewed, the Bag T series, you have to press down and move it. You can't actually do it without it, so it kind of locks. So you have to press down, and I think I'll leave it there for this test. So yeah, and here's the clear window so you can see that aggressive brush roller, which we'll go into more into later on. It's a 12 amp motor. There's the Hoover logo. Moving further up, here's the HEPA filter, so that just pulls out. And now you should change this once a year, depending on usage. So yeah, so that just goes back in like so. And moving on up, here's the cord rewind. So the cord just pulls out. And the cord on this is 25 feet, so it's about average. And obviously, being that it has a rewind, it comes out the bottom. However, the nice thing is there's a cord hook on the top, so you can put the cord up there, so that's pretty good. So now I'll demonstrate the cord rewind. So it'll probably be easier if I stand up and do it. So you just press on this silver button and it will rewind the cord. Just turn it that way so you can see it better. And sometimes gets tangled, so yeah. It's not the strongest cord rewinder in the world, but it still works pretty well. A little slow. There we go. Okay, so moving on the top, here's system check indicators. So this will turn red if the suction gets blocked or whatever. So to release this bin, you just press the little release button up here, pull out, and so here's the bin. So to empty it, there's a little button down here that you'd press and the bottom drops, and then you can dump out the contents, and you can remove the cyclone if you needed to. So to do that, just put the camera down for a sec. So you just give it a quarter twist, pull out, and actually while I'm here I'll show you the filter. And now, since this has a multi-cyclonic or dual cyclonic system, whatever you want to call it, this filter actually stays pretty clean, as you can see. So yeah, it's not as bad as some other cheaper machines in this price range, which are complete nightmare as far as filtration goes. But this actually works pretty well. So to pull the cyclone out, you just pull up and the whole assembly comes out. So you can actually completely disassemble this if you need to. There's some screws up here, and that little piece comes off, and then there's some more little screws there, which I may do a video on how to disassemble this, but it's pretty easy. And like I said, you can wash it, so that's nice. I wish Dyson would make a cyclone like this where you can disassemble it easily, because the cyclones on a Dyson are just a complete nightmare to service sometimes. So yeah, anyway, I'll just put the filter back in, put the camera down once again. Let me just make sure I'm in frame here. Then you just give it another quarter twist, and that's it. So as you can see here, it says easy rinse filter. So to put it back in, it's pretty easy. Just line it up if I can. There we go. Okay, and then just clicks in. Okay, moving further up, here's a turbo brush. So pretty common on these machines. And you can actually disassemble this one by undoing 2 Phillips screws, which I'm not going to do that right now, but yeah, you could do that if you needed to clean it out or whatever. So that just clicks in like so. Moving onto the back, here's the hose. So to release it, there's a little button here you press and it comes out. And now you can actually pull it out here just by giving it a twist, and you can actually unclog it up here or down there if you needed to. So yeah, and then to put it back in, just line it up and twist it. And since it comes out the bottom here, as you can see, it'll actually kind of follow you, kind of like a canister. So that's nice, unlike some other machines where it'll come out here and then it will topple over if you pull on it too hard, but this one doesn't seem to do that. Now the only problem I have is the hose. I wish it was a little longer, but it is a decent length. I mean, I'll just set it here, and you can see it goes from there to here before it starts to pull along. So that's not so bad. So just put it back in. Onboard tools you have are this all-purpose nozzle, similar to what you got in the wind tunnel T-series bagged. Like I said in that video, I was rather disappointed with this brush, to be honest, because it's not the softest and it's not the best design, but much like the bagged T-series, this also uses the same standard 1.25" fitting, so you can buy all kinds of third-party attachments if you needed to. And moving on to this side is the crevice tool and extension one, so it just pulls out. And here they are. Now, I am kind of disappointed actually with this, because this is your extension wand. I mean, that's not very long, but you do get a nice long crevice tool, and when they're together, this is your reach, so it's alright for getting along the edges. But if you have higher ceilings, you're not going to get very far with that, so you'll probably have to buy more extension wands if you needed to, but that's not that big of a problem. You can find all kinds of attachments that would fit this, being the standard 1.25" fitting. So that just goes on the side. Further up here is the on and off button. And yeah. So, moving on to the bottom, I'll show you the brush roller. So here it is. As you can see, it uses these very stiff, dense bristles, and they're pretty close together. This brush roller is actually pretty aggressive, and it manages to find quite a bit in the carpet. However, much like the Abyssal Clean View that I did a video on, you can't shut the brush roller off for hard floors. So this machine would only be good if you have carpet in your house and a little bit of hard floors. But if you have mostly hard floors, this is not the machine for you, because one, you risk scratching your floors with this brush roller because it is pretty aggressive, and two, could cause damage to the machine, because when the brush roller is hitting carpet, it's hitting a padded surface, whereas on hard floors, it's not. It's hitting a very hard surface, so that could cause damage to the machine and the brush roller over time. So yeah, and it is pretty easy to change the belt on this. There's just a couple screws here and here, and there's one down there, and the whole base plate comes out. Actually, as a matter of fact, you can actually take the whole base off if you needed to. There's just 4 screws. There's 2 on this side and 2 on that side. And this whole base comes out. You can throw it in the sink and clean it if you needed to. So yeah, that's really nice. I do like that. For an $88 vacuum, this is pretty easy to service. So it can really last a long time if you look after it. So yeah. And I guess I'll show you on the front. Here is a nice rubber bumper. So yeah, that's pretty good. So I think that's enough of the overview part. So now I guess I'll do the pickup test and see how well it does. Alright, so I got the machine plugged in and ready to go. So I'll do the usual 1 pass forward, 1 pass back through the middle and see how it does. So just turn it on. So not the quietest machine, but not the loudest at the same time. So I did notice, especially on this side, I could really see some agitation. So it looks like it picked up just about everything on here, but since the belt guard's here, it did leave a little line of shame here, but that's to be expected. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with that. well, I think that just about concludes the review and demonstration on this Hoover Elite Rewind upright vacuum cleaner. So I think this is a great machine, and really is a shame that Hoover discontinued it, but if you can find one of these refurbished online or used or whatever, and you have mostly carpets, then I would definitely say this could be a good machine. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm actually thinking about possibly using it more now. It just really impressed me that much. So that's all I got for today. If you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Awesome Vacuums. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.